What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to Unstoppable, the Elite Mind and Body podcast for men. Today, we're going to discuss an extremely important topic, okay? And that topic is how to turn negatives into positives, okay? Have you ever had a moment in your life where you're like, man, I'm in a really shitty spot? Where whatever could possibly have happened, whether it's in your business or your career, in your relationship, with injury, loss, whatever it is. And you're like, man, I'm in a really shitty spot right now. What do I do? Okay. What I want to do is with this podcast is I want to share with you actionable steps that you can use no matter where you are in life to turn a negative situation into a positive situation. Okay. So first and foremost, we need to understand what negatives and positives are in the first place, okay? Anything that happens to you negatively is simply energy, okay? Now, what do I mean by that? Negative things happen to people all the time, whether it's a traffic situation, someone cuts you off, you get the wrong order at the drive-thru, or something devastating like the loss of a family member, right? Each and every one of those things is associated to a certain type of energy that you're getting from either other people or from yourself. Okay. So any negative thing that happens to you is simply energy coming towards you. Okay. Energy coming towards you, either from another person, another place, or thing. Positive things that happen to you, walking down the street, you find $100 bill, right? You meet a new person or a new friend and you hit it off right away and you guys are like best friends right away. Right? Positive things can happen as well. And on the flip side of the negative, it's also when energy comes to you from a person, place, or thing, or whatever. So negatives and positives are simply just energy. Okay. So what we need to learn is we need to learn how to internalize and transmute negative energy into positive energy. That's what we need to learn how to do. Okay. Now, I want to talk about the few levels of negatives, okay? Because depending where you're at in life, you may be experiencing different things. And depending on what you're experiencing, the steps that I'm going to share with you later in this podcast are going to mean more to you depending on what level that you're in, okay? So there's 3 levels deep of negatives, okay? Level 1 is where bad stuff is just happening in your life. You cut off in traffic, you get in a fight with your best friend, you get in a fight with your spouse, life's not going your way, your boss is like, I don't know, disrespecting you in front of your other colleagues, whatever it is, okay? Level 1 is bad things happening in life. Level 1 is where, yes, there's negative energy coming towards you, but is it debilitating? No. Is it going to make you depressed? No. It's just like kind of unlucky, bad shit is happening, okay? Which happens all the time. Level 2, the second level, is big life changes, okay? So an example of a big life change is being diagnosed with a preventable disease, right? So I recently had one of my clients, he hadn't got his blood work done in a little while, and he was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. And so, that's a big life change because that means that the future of your life the trajectory of your life now has to change. Okay. So big life changes is level 2. Another example of a big life change is if you're fired from your career. You've been working at the same place for 4 years. I just had a client that was fired from his job of 4 or 5 years 2 weeks ago. So I know how big of a life change that can be. That's a huge negative. Another one would be an injury, right? Let's say you get injured at work. Let's say you're skateboarding, you fall down, you break your leg, you can't walk, you can't work, you can't do your normal day-to-day life. That's a big life change. That's a level 2 negative. Okay. Because can it lead to depression? Potentially. Can it lead to you getting way worse as a human being? Potentially. Can it lead to drugs and addictions and vices and all this shit? Yes, potentially. A level 3 in terms of negative is a catastrophe. Okay? A level 3 catastrophe is something like divorce, right? Something like the death of a loved one, right? Something like drug addiction or like a near fatal injury. Okay? A level 3 catastrophe, something that's super, super, super negative, usually leads to those deeper negatives that we just discussed, whether that's addictions or vices or depression, anxiety, whatever it is. Level 3 catastrophes usually lead to worse negatives if you can't transmute and convert negative energy into positive energy. Okay. So wherever you're at right now, whatever negatives you have in your life, whatever positives you have in your life, if your life is all amazing and everything is peachy keen and life is good, then great. I'm super, super happy for you. Most people, it's not the case. There's one or two areas in their lives where things are kind of hitting the fucking fan. And if that's you, I want you to stick around because I'm going to share with you 3 steps right now that you can use to internalize, transmute the negative energy that you have in your life and convert it into positive outcome in a positive situation. So the first step, okay? The first step, no matter what's happening to you, the first step is to journal, okay? First step is to journal. What I want you to journal is this. There's 3 questions I want you to ask yourself, okay? The first question I want you to ask yourself is, who am I? Okay? Who am I? Who are you as a person? Like truly, who are you? And by who are you, I'm not saying, oh, I'm a fucking loser or like, you know what I mean? Don't say the negative stuff that you say about yourself. I want you to look to the future and say, hey, like if I become great in every area that I want to become great in, who am I? What do I look like? How do I think? How do I speak? How do I treat those around me? How do I treat those in my network? How do I treat my kids? How do I treat my friends? What kind of person am I? Who are you? That's the first question. Once you know who you are, okay? Once you know who you are, I want you to journal out number 2. And the second question is, what is your purpose? Okay? So depending on what you do, depending on who you are, depending if you own your own business or if you work a job or if you're in school or if, whatever your career path may be, your purpose may be different, right? A lot of times people get jobs that they don't love and it makes them lose sight of their purpose. If the person can link purpose to the job that they're doing, they're going to have a much easier time committing and doing that job long-term, right? Like that's the way that it works. So the question is, what is your purpose? And if you're thinking about this right now and you're like, I don't know what my purpose is. Like I'm right now I'm a plumber or I'm an electrician or I'm, I'm single and I'm doing iron working. How can you figure out right now? I want you to ask yourself, what is your purpose? Like, what do you truly want to do? Do you get joy and happiness and fulfillment from helping people? Right? Like that's a noble thing. That could be a purpose, right? Do you get joy and happiness from making people better? Right? Because here's the thing. If you can link purpose to the things that you're doing, the things that you're doing are going to be so much easier to keep doing. So much easier. Even if you're an iron worker, even if you work at the fucking movie theater, you're scooping popcorn, okay? What I'm saying is, if you believe that your purpose in that moment is to provide people with happiness, you're going to be the happiest popcorn scooper in the goddamn world, okay? So link purpose to what you're doing, all right? That's the second question. So number 1, who am I? Number 2, what is my purpose? Number 3, and this is the big one, you guys. This is the big one. What is my 10-year vision, right? Where do I see myself in 10 years? Yes, a bad thing just happened to me. Yes, I just got fired from my job. Yes, somebody just cut me off in traffic. Yes, I'm battling right now with drug addiction or alcohol addiction, whatever it is. But where do I want to be in 10 years? Right? Where do I want to be in 10 years? Who do I want to become? Like what can I do today that's going to put me one step closer to my life that I truly want to be, the person that I truly want to be in 10 years? That's the question. Okay. So guys, the very first step to transmute negative energy into positive energy is to journal. 3 questions. Who am I? Number 1. Number 2, what is my purpose? And number 3, what is my 10-year vision? Okay. Journal those things out and you're going to start to gain awareness of the big picture of your life. Because here's the thing, before I get into step 2 and 3, I want you to understand something. No matter what negative thing happens in your life, no matter what it is, again, even loss of a loved one, even the death of a family member, even a near fatal injury, something catastrophic, it's not going to last forever. It's not. It's not going to last forever. So if you can gain awareness on the fact that you have potentially another 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 100, who knows how many years left on this planet to live. If you can gain awareness of that and say, holy shit, I'm working towards this as my 10-year vision. Holy shit, I'm working towards this as the person that I want to become, that I know I deserve to become. I'm working towards this as my purpose. If you can get clarity on where you're going, the negative stuff that happens to you is not going to hold as much weight. So the very first step helps you to dissolve some of the negativity that's going on in your life from the situation you're in. Okay. So journal number one. Step number two is to feel through meditation. Okay. Feel through meditation. Now, what do I mean by this? When negative stuff happens in your life, you'll find that your mind will race more than anything else. Okay. If you guys have ever been through something negative, we all have, we're all human beings. If you've ever been through something negative, your mind is just going to be running rampant. All the stuff that could have been different, the stuff that you could have done, the stuff that the other person should have done. Somebody cut you off on traffic, man. I should have fingered that motherfucker, whatever it is, right? There's going to be stuff going on in your brain. Meditation allows you to feel those emotions and let your mind race the way that I just described, but in a productive way. Now, how exactly do we go about doing this? Deepak Chopra has a very specific method of meditation that has helped me. Whenever I go through negative things, this is what I do. And this is what I would recommend you do as well. But essentially, Deepak Chopra teaches to do vagal breathing. Vagal breathing is essentially 4 seconds inhale, 4 seconds exhale, 1 second pause. 4 seconds in, 4 seconds out, 1 second pause. That vagal breathing allows you to tap truly into your awareness as a human being. He talks about it a lot in a lot of his books. But the very first thing is focus on the breath. The second thing is to close your eyes and allow your mind to run. Okay? Because the conscious mind is, what's the word he uses in his book? What's the word he uses? Irrational. The conscious mind is fucking irrational. Seriously. All of the negatives here that I listed, okay, even the catastrophic ones, a lot of times your mind will race and repeat scenarios that you could have done differently. So I'll give you an example. When I lost my Nana, I was really mad at myself because I didn't spend as much time with her as I wanted to. Looking back, I was really upset. I felt like I was semi-responsible because I didn't spend enough time with her, because she would invite me over and I was in a point in my life where I was 18. I was doing dumb stuff. I was drinking and stuff. She passed away right around that age. And so for me, my mind would race for weeks after I lost my Nana because I was so upset and I was replaying all these different scenarios. I could have went then, I could have done more. I could have taken her to lunch or done something different. But the fact is, that was my conscious mind racing in a non-productive, irrational way, because I know that my Nana loved me. Okay. I know that. It's the same thing. So guys, even if it's a catastrophic event, if you can meditate 4 seconds in, 4 seconds out, 1 second pause, okay, for your breath, you can let your mind race. Let it race. Let it think about all the things you could have done differently, all the stuff that could have been different. But then shift focus to the center of your chest. Shift focus to the center of your chest and just realize that you are alive in this moment. Okay, this is called awareness of the self. So focus on the random shit that your brain wants to think because you just went through a negative situation. And then focus on the breath and bring it back to center. What's going to happen? And this is like so powerful. You guys, this is so powerful. When you do this, the negative thought racing that you have, the power of those thoughts starts to diffuse. Because what happens is your thoughts at any moment, regardless what's going on in your life, your thoughts at any moment are simply a projection of your perception of reality. Okay? So that means that in any moment, your thoughts are not you. You are not your thoughts. You never have been your thoughts. You never will be your thoughts. Your thoughts are only a perception of your perception of reality in this moment. Okay? It's just a projection of things, worries, thoughts, ideologies, anxieties, beliefs, limiting beliefs, fears, doubts, all that kind of shit. Okay? So going from focusing on the negative to focusing on the chest, on the center of your body, allows you to realize on a subconscious and conscious level that your thoughts have no control over your emotions. Your thoughts have no control over the way that you live your life. And it starts to diffuse the negative energy that's associated with those thoughts. Okay? This is like I'm telling you right now, there's been many times in my life where I've gone through stuff, and I never had this tool that I just step two. I always had step one. I would always journal, but I never found step two until this year. And it has been the most influential thing that I've ever discovered when it comes to regulating my mind and keeping myself on track. So I want you guys to write that down and give it a try. That's step two. Step three is to decide and commit. Step three is to decide and commit. Okay. You need to know what you're going to do. So you just lost a family member. You just got a divorce. You're battling drug addiction. Maybe you got a near fatal injury. If you have a catastrophic negative in your life, or if you have a less bad negative, again, you get the wrong coffee at fucking Starbucks. Right? It can put you in a sour mood for the rest of the day. You need to know what you're going to do. You need to know and have clarity on what you are going to do. You need to decide that you're going to move closer to that vision that you have for your life. You need to set your standards, the standards that are going to get results in your life, whether that's a certain number of calls, whether it's going to work extra hours, whether it's doing one more with your workouts, whether it's eating the right food, whether it's stopping drinking, stopping doing drugs, whatever it is. You need to know where you're going. You need to set your standards, and you need to take action no matter how you fucking feel. Because here's the thing, guys. Whatever negatives happen in your life, if you can take action through them, whatever negative thing you're going through, if you can take action through it, action alleviates anxiety. Okay? Because when you do things that are aligned with who you're trying to become, as a man, you start to believe more in your abilities. And not only do you start believing more in your abilities, but you also start to become that which attracts what you want. So I want you to know that. Decide. Commit to hitting the next level. Take action no matter how you feel. Set standards that are going to get the results no matter what. And never fucking compromise on yourself. That's how we transmute negative into positive. And not just positive energy. We need to transmute negative energy into positive energy that gets results. Because the more results we can get, the more we're going to believe in our purpose. The more we believe in our purpose, the more we're going to take action. The more we take action, the more none of this bullshit that you just went through is going to fucking matter. Because you're going to come out the other side stronger. Okay? You're going to come out the other side stronger. Now, last thing I want to say is the goal of this transmutation, okay? The goal of taking the negative energy, transmuting it, turning it into a positive result. The goal of it is to convert the negative energy that's being spit at you from whatever direction you're getting it from and convert that energy into fuel for your fire that takes you to the next level. Okay? So guys, negatives are actually positives. Doors that close are also doors that open. You have the power to become anything that you want. You just need to know who you want to be, where you're going, what your purpose is, what your vision is, and then you need to take action each and every day to actualize your potential. I love you guys so much. Hope you have an amazing day. I'll see you tomorrow. for the podcast. Peace out. Boom. Killed it. Killed it.